Thank you for the opportunity to present ourselves and feature some of our work. My name is Tim Kirk, and I'm the director of the Dictionary Unit for South African English, based in Makhanda, Eastern Cape. The topic of this presentation is the creation of a new comprehensive audio pronunciation database of South African English. The starting point for the entire sub-project was an invitation by the executive of the Pan-South African Language Board late last year to apply for relief funding. This enabled the Dsae to do work that had long been on our wish list. What followed was a great deal of hard work and dedication from Dsae staff and the team of voice actors we recruited. But I would like to express our deep, heartfelt thanks to PanSALB for presenting us with this opportunity. We grabbed it with both hands. Why did we want to produce this database? Our online dictionary presents the pronunciation of South African English words using the International Phonetic Alphabet. Specialists understand these symbols, but most users do not. The Dsae now reaches a much wider audience through the online medium than in the print era. So, perhaps most excitingly, we have the opportunity to introduce South African English to a global audience. Let me show you an example of what I mean.
Quagga.
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 Most older South Africans know what a quagga is, but it refers to an extinct species of mammal. How often do we hear this word spoken? Younger people might not know how to pronounce it. Further, just imagine you encounter this word as an American or an Australian. Without exposure to South African English phonemes, you might come out with something like quagga. The online Dsae therefore shows pronunciation guidance via phonetic transcripts. Knowing that most dictionary users don't understand the International Phonetic Alphabet, we created a dictionary function that filters a very long list of phonetic symbols down to only those that are relevant to the entry. The solution involved hyperlinking each phonetic transcription and displaying a pop-up which explains each sound by means of familiar example words. What we plan to do in a future edition of the dictionary, now that we have a database of recordings, is to add alternative pronunciation guidance in the form of a single button icon that will look something like this. Most importantly, the pronunciations will have been recorded by authentic South African English speakers. Regarding the current phase of the project, the target was to produce voice recordings in the form of an audio pronunciation database, not yet a dictionary update. That will involve further editorial, dictionary design and software development stages in future. As it stands, we now have a database of over 13,000 voice recordings of about 6,000 South African English word forms. Let me introduce the rest of the Dsae team at this point. Senior Editor, Ms. Bridget Ledoux. Our Associate Editor, Systems Development, Mr. Richard Slater. And Systems Development Assistant, Mr. Dumisani Solani. Like all our projects, this one involved numerous specialist roles, too many to mention in a brief presentation, and was highly collaborative. Ms. Ledoux led the project, collaborating directly and intensively with the voice actors, who were as follows. From the top left, going clockwise, these were the microphone-facing stars of our audio pronunciation project. Veronique Jeftas, Thomas Hussey, Janet Leslie, and Nkateko Traore. Let's hear some examples of their recordings of South African English.
Afdak. Fundi.
Pap en vlees.
Mashonisa.
Goggaitjie.
Spaza.
Bokbaai-vegie.
Igqirha.
Pugai.
Makoya.
Shweshwe.
Eina.
Beyond the hugely enabling assistance of PanSALB, I would also like to thank the staff of the Oxford English Dictionary for sharing their experience of how they make audio recordings for pronunciation purposes, and the Rhodes University Department of Linguistics and Applied Language Studies for generously allowing us to use its recording studio. Thank you for your attention. I will let our voice actors close the presentation.
Salagachle.
Go well.